It is truly a privilege for me to be here tonight, and for those of you who know my backstory, you know that it's a privilege for me to be anywhere right now. And it was about 18 months ago, a whole team of Toronto doctors gave me 2.5 months to live without a liver transplant. By the grace of God, I got one last March, and I'm here because of our great Canadian healthcare system. Very lucky, very lucky. Yeah. And I had a rough recovery, though. For a good 6 months, I thought I would never do this again. I was really out of it. I had an adverse reaction to the drugs I had to take because I'm bipolar, manic depressive. And not the punchline, but he has other maladies, yes. He's really screwed up. But it's a very ironic malady for a comedian, you know. They like that joke, they didn't like that joke, they like that joke, they didn't like. Very funny. It's amazing how fast my mental state can change. I wake up in the morning, what a beautiful day to kill myself. It's that fast. Yeah. So due to complications of being bipolar, I was, after 3 weeks of my initial release from the hospital, I was readmitted to the Toronto General Hospital psych ward. I spent 26 days there, a stay that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Every day a psychiatrist would come into my room. Have you had any suicidal thoughts today? Not till you came in. We ended up staying in Toronto for 3 months after my transplant. That's the protocol. If you have a transplant, you have to stick around for 3 months in case there's any complications. You have to be close to the hospital. The worst thing about the apartment, we had the cheapest basic Canadian cable on TV. It got to a point my wife and I were looking forward to watching shit like Family Feud. At least it was different every day, Monday to Friday, 7 to 8, back-to-back episodes. But I think it was my first indication that my sense of humor was starting to come back to me. Because after watching Family Feud for so long, I turned to my wife and I said, a lot of times the answer for these questions could be dead hooker. Now, you watch Family Feud tomorrow. You'll want to phone me. That was funny, Mike. That was, yeah. I couldn't believe how many times dead hooker could have been the answer. That's a funny bit. You got to send Steve Harvey a thank you note on that one. Yeah, it was amazing. Now, most of you probably already realize that the truth is always funnier than anything we can come up with. These are actual questions from Family Feud. We asked 100 single men, name something you'd like better if it was warmed up. You see where my mind went right away. It was like, dead hooker, that's funny. Name something you have to jiggle to get it working. Name something gross a person might find in their soup so they could sue the company. Name something a neighbor might borrow that you don't want it back once he's used it. I was gone on that one. I was on the floor. Even my wife had to laugh at that one. I got to tell you, though, if not the only reason, certainly the best reason I'm still here is my wife. My wife pulled me through my recovery. If not for her, I wouldn't be here. It's as simple as that. And she had to put up with a lot of bullshit because, there were like weeks I'd go by, I'd say 1 or 2 words to her. And she was really depressed. My silence is deafening to my wife. And I remember the first time after so long of hardly saying anything, I told her my first joke, and she laughed out loud, and then she started crying. And I said, why are you crying? And she goes, you're finally coming back to me. And it was weird, because we were watching Family Feud at the time. And the question was, name a famous mother. And the answers came in, Mother Teresa, Mother Nature, Mother Hubbard. And I said, see if Mother up there. He's back. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you all. Nothing but the best of health to you. Thank you. Good night.